Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to our lesson, a continuation of our lesson for chapter 7. Right, so I think we've done with deductive and inductive logical reasoning. Now let's look at validity and reliability. Right, so as mentioned in your book, these two terms have a lot of meanings, right? But we are only looking at what they means in terms of research, right? So according to your book, they refer to desirable aspects of scientific measurements from respective research instruments, right? And it says here to note, one may never achieve perfect reliability and validity. Regardless, there are ideals towards which researchers should strive for to establish truthfulness and credibility. Right? It's important to understand whether research is reliable or can be reliable, or whether or not a research is actually valid, or the instrument of the research conducted is actually valid. So let's look at reliability first. So reliability refers to the degree of which a research method produces stable and consistent results. For example, a reliable weighing scale, which is a research instrument, the scale that is used to measure weight. Right? A reliable one would give the same measurement after being repeated, weighing up the same particular load. For example, you have a weighing scale, and then if I were to step on it, and then it gives me a measurement, for example, 55 kilograms, and then after I step on it again, if it gives me the same amount of measurement, then it can be seen as a reliable research instrument. Right? So here it says, in contrast, if it's unreliable, right, it will give a different measurement. For example, first time it's 55 kilograms, second time it gives me like 70 kilograms. So that is what it means by an unreliable research instrument. Right? So the same also applies to other research instruments, for example, questionnaires, interviews, and so on and so forth. Okay, another example that we can look at is a thermometer. Okay, a thermometer giving the same temperature measurement on the same subject is a reliable research instrument. If it gives a different measurement, then it becomes an unreliable research instrument. Right? So it's reliable if someone else uses it, the result is consistent. Right? So these are some. This is not in your book actually, so you can look at this on your own. Right? Okay, certain things that can be a threat to the reliability of a research. It can be a participant error, it can be a participant bias, it can also be a researcher error, and it can also be a researcher bias. So I don't think this is covered by your book. You can look at it on your own. A lot of things are actually not covered by your book. Okay, so now let's continue with validity of a research. according to your book, validity refers to the extent at which a research instrument actually measures what needs to be measured. Right? Okay, the extent at which a research instrument actually measures what needs to be measured, or how well a research instrument measures what it claims to measure. Right, and then you have an example here. This example for me is a bit difficult to understand. Even I don't understand what you mean because I'm not that proficient in psychology. Right, and then we'll look at the relationship between reliability and validity. So it says here that the relationship is straightforward and easy to understand. How is it straightforward? It says here, an instrument of research can be reliable but not valid. But an instrument cannot be valid without first being reliable. Right? In other words, a research instrument must be reliable, right? But doesn't have to be valid, right? So there's so many types of validity, but we are only looking at 3 types of validity, which are internal validity, external validity, and ecological validity. Right, so internal validity refers to whether a study's result were really due to the variables the researchers suggest were tested by their methodology. Right, so in a research, usually there is an independent or a dependent variable. So we will look at independent and dependent variable later on. I'm giving you a link here. Okay, I think I'll post it on this YouTube video, which will lead you to a video that will help to explain in a bit more detail what internal validity is. Right, so if it's a good internal validity, then the internal variable actually affect the dependent variable. Alright, what does that mean? You'll watch the video. Now, external validity, according to your book, is referring whether the result can be generalized if conducted in different environments or using different participants. Right? Whether a research finding can be generalized to other relevant settings or groups. Right? Again, I will leave you a link to help you understand a bit more. I think this person here explains what external validity in an easier way to understand. Okay, the only explanation that I will give to you is in terms of ecological validity. Right? So according to your book, ecological validity refers to the extent to which research finding can be generalized to research natural settings. Okay. For example, you conducted a research about what people or what you should do in case of an earthquake. Right? So you have a research. First situation, you have a simulation of an earthquake. Okay, so in the simulation, it is the safe way to face an earthquake is to remain calm and hide under a table. Right, so in a simulation, every subject are able to remain calm and they hide under the table. But in a real case of earthquake, the subjects or the people would scream uncontrollably and they become terrified. Right, as you can see here, it's in terms of its setting. Right, so in this case of an earthquake, in the simulation, because it's not a natural setting, and this is the result, it is a low ecological validity. So it's not that valid because it's not that natural, right? So when it's given in a real world situation, and then this is what happened, and this is a high ecological validity, right? So I hope you understand my explanation. If you don't understand, I'll explain it a bit more in a WhatsApp group. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.